Nobody learns English for their job. Not really. Maybe that is what you tell people. Maybe that is in what you tell yourself. But on the days when you're tired, when learning feels heavy, when you stop and ask yourself, why am I even doing this? The answer that comes up, that one is different. It must be different. That one is the real one, the core reason. And today, that is exactly what we're going to find out. And along the way, you and I are going to learn some very interesting words together. Hey everyone, and welcome to Massey's World, where we learn a fun, easy, real English together. I'm really happy you're here. So without further ado, let's get started. When someone asks you why you're learning English, what do you say? A lot of people say, for my job, for my CV. CV is the document you send when you apply for a job or your resume, or to pass an exam, to travel. And those are valid reasons. Valid means they make sense, they are good reasons. Valid. But I want to go deeper than that today because I think underneath those reasons, there is something much, much more powerful. Not just a temporary motivation spike, something more human, more passionate, and more valuable. Something that lasts forever. You think you already know yourself, your capabilities, things that you can do, or your limitations, the things you cannot do. But let me tell you that there is a version of you that only exists in English. English unlocks that version of you, and right now you cannot meet that person yet. I want you to sit with that for a second because I think that that is the real reason, not the exam, not the job, or not the upcoming vacation. It is the person you could become when that language is no longer a wall between you and that whole world. Let's paint a picture together. You're at a dinner or at a party, or maybe just hanging out with friends. And then the conversation shifts to English. Someone tells a joke and everyone laughs. You laugh too, but half a second later. Not because you understood the joke, but because you saw everyone else laughing and you did not want to be that one person sitting there with a blank face. You know that feeling, and I know you do. That feeling of everyone around me gets it and I don't. That feeling, my friend, has a name. It is called disconnection. Disconnection is when you're physically present, but mentally somewhere else. You're in the room, but you're not in the conversation. And here's what nobody talks about. That feeling is not about language. That feeling is about belonging. Belonging means to feel like you are a part of something, like you are included, like you matter in this space. And right now, English is the language of belonging. Now, I want to be honest with you, because I always am. Is English the most spoken language in the world? Not quite. Chinese has more native speakers. Spanish is growing incredibly fast online. Korean gave us Squid Game, which broke every record imaginable. So, no, English does not own everything. But here's what's true. When it comes to the internet, to online content, English makes up more than half of everything written online. More than half. And on YouTube, the platform you're watching right now, where I personally learned so much from, about two-thirds of the biggest channels in the world are in English. Think about this for a second. When you have a problem or when you want to learn something new, what is the first thing you do? You go to YouTube, you go online, you search. But if you do not know English, you can only search in your own language, and suddenly the amount of information available to you gets so much smaller. And what does reach you reaches you secondhand, already filtered, already translated, already someone else's version of it. When you speak English, you go straight to the source. That means when you understand and speak English, you do not just get a little more content, you get access to most of the conversations, the most up to date conversations happening on one of the biggest stages in the world at the moment. And there is this story. I have to say, I'm not sure if it is true because you cannot believe everything you see on social media for sure. But people say that when Lionel Messi started doing press conferences in English, something shifted. Not his football, but his reach changed. Reach is a beautiful word. It means how many people you can touch, influence, and connect with. It means how far your voice goes. You can have a small reach and a big reach. A big reach means a lot of people can hear you and connect with you and understand you. And when Messi started speaking English, his reach, the number of people who could connect with him as a person, not just as a footballer, grew enormously. Or so they say, I don't know. Has that ever happened to you? Have you ever noticed your world getting bigger the moment your English gets better? Tell me in the comments. And I will tell you something that happened to me recently. I was at work here in Germany, and most of my clients speak German. So I do too. But the other day, a girl came in and we were speaking German as usual. And then suddenly, naturally, she dropped a few phrases in English, like, oh, never mind, all good. And something shifted between us in that moment. Like a door opened. We started mixing English into the conversation, laughing a little bit more, feeling a little more like ourselves. And by the end of it, I felt so much closer to her than I had felt to any other client. We even exchanged Instagram, not because of anything we said, just because we had another world where we could meet in. That's reach. Not always millions of people, sometimes just one person, but a connection that would not have existed without English. Now, I want to say something carefully because I care about the people watching this video. When you cannot express yourself fully in a language, you feel limited. Not less intelligent, not less talented, not less funny, just limited. Like a singer who knows exactly what song they are going to sing and they can hear it perfectly in their head, but they can only hit half the notes right now. The talent is there, the voice is there, the full sound is not out yet. And that is okay because the notes, they come. They always come if we keep going. Now, I have been living in Germany and honestly, it has been humbling. Humbling. You pronounce it humbling. The B is silent. It means something brought you back to earth. Like life said, hey, you're a beginner again, and you have to accept that. I remember what it felt like at the beginning, sitting with a group of German speakers. Someone says something, everyone reacts, and I have something to say, something actually good, something that would land. Land. It means to hit, to work. When a joke lands, people laugh. When a comment lands, people feel it. But by the time I found the right words, the moment was completely gone. And I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. That feeling does not belong to one particular language, it is universal. That feeling of having something inside you that you could not get out in time. And that is exactly that feeling of disconnection we talked about earlier. But here's what I want you to understand. That feeling, that disconnection, it is not a sign that you cannot do this. It is a sign that you're in the middle of doing it. Every single lesson you do, every video you watch, every word you look up at midnight because it got stuck in your head and you could not sleep until you knew what it meant. All of that is moving you from the person who laughs half a second late to the person who gets the joke first, from the blank face in the room to the one telling the story. That is not a small shift, that is everything. That's the feeling of belonging. Now, this is important. There is a reason why some people learn a language and some people just sort of try to learn a language for years and stay in the same place. And it comes down to one thing: why? Your real why. Think about working out. A lot of people go to the gym in January. By February, the gym is a little quieter. By March, it is just the gym rats again. Gym rats. They are the people who never miss a session at the gym. The regulars. Gym rats, regulars. Rain or shine, motivated or not, they show up. Why does that happen? Because most people go to the gym for a result. They want to look a certain way, maybe get ready for an upcoming event, or their summer body. And the moment the result feels far away or too difficult to reach, they lose motivation and they stop. But the people who never stop, the ones who are consistent, they're not going for the result. They go because in their mind, they are someone who moves, someone who takes care of their body. It is part of who they are, not that what they're trying to achieve, but who they really are. English the same. The moment you stop learning it because you have to, and you start learning it because it is a part of who you are, everything changes. Your consistency changes, the way you pick up words changes, your accent changes, and trust me on that last one because I have lived it. And here's the most powerful thing I can say to you today. The brain is not just a muscle, it is also a mirror. It reflects what you show it up here. Your brain is always listening, not just to the words that other people say to you, but to what you say to yourself. And if every day you tell yourself, I am someone who speaks English fluently, I love learning English. Speaking English comes naturally to me, so easily, so effortlessly. Effortless, by the way, means you don't have to try for it so hard. It's easy, it's effortless. And after a while, your brain starts to believe it. And when your brain believes something about you, it starts to look for ways to make it happen. It nudges you. This is nudging, subconsciously, a little bit nudging. Maybe it nudges you to open YouTube, to search for an English channel, and maybe it nudges you to subscribe to Massey's World and improve your English with Massey. And after some time, you start to notice something, maybe even like at first it was too difficult and felt too big. But then you start to realize wait, it is actually kind of happening. Not because of magic, but because you kept telling yourself who you were becoming, and your brain quietly did the rest. When I was about 8 years old, each time after my English class, I used to imagine myself not closing my eyes, meditating or something. I was just a kid. But I would kind of daydream, get lost in my thoughts, and imagine myself speaking with a perfect American accent. Sometimes I imagine myself as a news broadcaster, as I mentioned in one of my other videos. That was my dream at the time. I did not think I was doing anything special. I didn't even realize or notice what I was doing because I was just a kid. I just did it because it felt good and it gave me a purpose, a goal. It would make everything so much more enjoyable for me and it made everything make sense. So here's your moment right now, not tomorrow, not after this video, right now. Ask yourself, who do I want to be on the other side of this language? What conversations do I want to be in? What rooms do I want to walk into and feel completely, naturally at home? Picture that person, make it specific. Your voice, your face, confident, free, shining bright like a diamond. Now, repeat these sentences after me. I speak perfect English fluently every day. I speak English confidently with great pronunciation. Learning English is the easiest thing on earth for me. Good. Say those every day. The brain believes what it hears repeatedly. This is not a poster on a wall, this is how it actually works. And by the way, that silence I told you about, the moment I missed in German, I didn't give up. I went home and I studied and I improved. I didn't hate the language, and neither will you. Tell me in the comments, what is the most difficult part of learning English for you? I read all of your comments. Stay curious and stay consistent. I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.